from the fashion industry who's made a name the world over is going to light up this stage. Should I? But with every word, I think a cheer, a round of applause, because you all have been eagerly looking forward to it. Today we are honored to have a true icon of the fashion and design world with us, a maestro in fashion, interior design and cosmetics. He's made significant contribution to the field of design with a career spanning decades. He has dressed countless Bollywood stars and eminent personalities, created some of the most memorable designs in the industry. Gives me immense pleasure and an honor to please welcome one and only Manish Malhotra.
Hello. Good morning. Are you all awake or not? Yes. Right. My God, there's so much going on with, now there's a new logo. Now it's NIFD Global. You guys are going to go to Dubai Fashion Week. There are lots and lots of exciting things coming up. So are you all excited? Yes. That's good. I look forward to such mornings where I meet such young students, and all of us in this room are passionate about our work, fashion, and all that's got to do with lifestyle, clothing, and all of us are in this room today to chat, talk. In fact, just thank you, Sachin, for this lovely introduction.
My pleasure.
But LST and NIFD Global is home to me, and also I was telling Sachin backstage that, listen, let's us not talk that much, but I want to really speak to the students. I want you all to ask me many more questions that are in your mind. Just feel free to ask me, because I'm here to chat with you all, and if in any possible way I can inspire you to go ahead and encourage you to go ahead with your career, that makes my morning happen for me. So we are here to interact, we're here to chat. So please feel free to ask questions that are in your mind, and I'm here to answer them all.
Manish,
so should we start?
Request, please take the hot seat. And he started the session on such a humble note that just shows your humility. And thank you so much for being so accessible, and so seldom that happens.
Thank you.
Manish, lots to know. We want to know. It's a sea of knowledge that we're expecting, and all of them are looking forward since days. They've been, on social media, we've been talking about it. But everybody has a thought in their mind when they're starting their journey. Kahan se shuru karna hai, kya hai? But what was your thought when you started your journey, and how did Manish become the Manish Malhotra that we know?
Oh, right. Thank you. For me, I don't know. I was born in love with films, and I think in love with clothes. Because as far as I remember, at the age of 5 or 6, I would be very fascinated by music. I would want to dance on every song. I would comment on my mother's sari that your blouse is not matching. And just the other day, I live with my mother, and I was asking her that, how come you encouraged me to see so much of movies and so many movies, and go on with clothes and cutting your saris and all of that. So she said that you were very average as a student, but you were such a good boy, you never troubled me at all. The only thing that you wanted to ever do was watch movies. So she said, that's why I just felt you're so passionate about it, I'd never stopped you. And I think I'm really grateful to my parents to have encouraged, then I got into painting classes. I was fascinated by color. I was fascinated by music, or I watched all the films sitting like that, very wide-eyed, watching, clothes, music, lifestyle, camera, lighting, all of it. It fascinates me even today. I think when I really want to relax, for me, watching a film is something that really relaxes me, because I think I get drawn into a script, if the film is good, that is.
I have to say, right now, we are all drawn into looking at Manish's talk, right? Yeah? Manish, first of all, a big shout out to your parents as well for letting you be and do what you want to do and passionate about. And to all the parents in the house who've joined us as well, to all the mommies and daddies as well, for letting them be what they are and what they want to.
No, but I have to say this here, and I think that's something that might happen to many of us here. When I wanted to be a designer, I used to model. I modeled for 5 years. I was working in a boutique. I'm talking about, I don't think more than half of this room wasn't even born then. I'm talking about 1987, 1988. And at that time, boutiques had just come up. It was a new trend that was starting. And I started working in a boutique while I used to also model. And I thought, should I be a film director or a film designer? I loved sketching. I kept practicing, and my sketches were bad, and they just got better with practice. And I told my mother that I want to be a fashion designer, and she was like, "What's that?" And she thought I thought you would be an actor or a director. I said, no, I want to get into movies, and I want to make clothes for the movies, because I think movies are not really looking good anymore, and I want to bring that change. So she was like, are you sure? And I was like, let me just try that. It took her time to understand the concept of a fashion designer, but yes, again, she did allow me, and I had this small room. I had like a single bed, and I had 2 machines that I kept there and making clothes. So one day she said, you're making salwar kameezes for women. Is this what you want to do? And I was like, no, you see my sketches. I've sketched and all of that. So it did take her time to understand concept of a fashion designer. But today, of course, we all know of a concept of a fashion designer. But at that time, it was something which was pretty new. And when I got into the movies, I was the only male designer. We had male designers before me, but when I got into movies, I was 1990. That time I was the only male designer in the movies, yeah.
And you've changed the dynamics of the fashion industry.
No.
So thank you for that. But the dynamics have changed, thank you, through decades. And we've always seen that you always promoted Indian artisans the world over.
Yeah, it's not just me. Many designers are doing it. And I think that is a moment, that's a fashion moment that's happening now. And it's just going to grow, which is great.
Indeed. And now coming back to Bollywood, which is one of the most favorite Bollywood costume design project, unforgettable in your career?
Which I've done.
Yeah.
Well, as a film that I have not worked on because I wasn't born, I love Mughal-e-Azam. I love Pakiza as a film. I love the way the directors, I love Guru Dutt Sahab's work, I love Raj Kapoor ji's work, I love a lot of the directors that I've watched, and a lot more Indian cinema. Satyajit Ray's work, I love Shatranj Ke Khiladi as a film. Many of the movies I understood a lot more later in my life, and the work that it has, and the directors, and the detail to costume and art. But the movies that I have done, I would say Rangila really changed the way, in 1995, the way people looked at costumes, because they were modern, they were sensuous, and they were still wearable and identifiable. And Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham is another film where Poo's clothes, Kareena Kapoor's clothes are relevant. Even today, there are so many reels on Instagram which speak about Kareena's wardrobe. So that feels good. I would think there's so many. There's Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, there's Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. Too many, but I think Jab We Met is also one film that redefined, mixing the whole Indian day-to-day silhouette for t-shirt and a salwar, a kurti and jeans. And I think that is a trend that came from Jab We Met. And it's very, relevant even today. So that whole comfort with the mixing day-to-day Western and Indian silhouette is something that became a trend after, I think, Jab We Met. And saris is something that I've always loved. I loved the actresses wearing saris in the 50s and 60s and 70s. And I was so inspired by that my work has always been very fond of saris, and all those endless songs that we did in 90s in Switzerland, where the men wore trench coats and winter mufflers while the girls were in chiffon saris.
Yeah.
And right up to Rocky and Rani Ki Prem Kahani, where we did that. So that's something I really enjoy. And I think we can see that I really enjoy it, because that's something that's really, I think again a trend. Rocky and Rani Ki Prem Kahani got saris to a lot more younger girls to wear saris, so which is what movies should do, influence.